Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another episode of Derail Valley, my realistic playthrough. Hope you're enjoying the series still, and if you're new here, don't forget, watch all the previous episodes and sub to the channel. Now, if you remember, we came down to the harbour, and I said to you that what I'll probably do is finish unloading the cargo that we brought down to give us a bit more money, which is exactly what I've done. So we've now got 586,000. It's a little bit more than what you saw at the end of the last episode because I did those 2 unload jobs, and then I thought, you know what, I'll bring the 2 DH4s over here and we'll give them a service, which is exactly what I've done. I was also hoping to see a DE6 in the yard here because I planned to get the DE6 license in this episode and swap that DH4 out for a DE6. However, there aren't any, which is brilliant timing. So instead, what I'm probably going to do is we'll see what jobs we've got available, and we've got another 2 DH4s here, so we could have up to 4 DH4s in our next train. What I'd like to do, though, is go and recover the DE6, the museum DE6, which I believe, or remember, I think, is up at City West. I think we saw it at City West. So we're in the harbour at the moment. We want to haul off in this direction somewhere here. Do a nice job, maybe multiple loads or whatever, something fun, and then eventually I want to get to City West, get that D6 back down to City South, and we'll get it all painted up and looking lovely. I will need to buy the license, though, in order to do that. So, let's head over to the station and see what jobs we can get. And this rain is, or may be, a factor here. However, it is coming up, 7:35, nearly 8 o'clock. And according to the weather forecast, if you believe that, rain at 9, so the rain's going to stop this morning. It's going to be sunny by midday. So I reckon we've got at least another 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of rain. We're not going to get out of the harbour easily in the rain. So anyway, let's have a look at the jobs first. What I've done is I've ditched everything down here that I just don't even want to think about. And I've got a lovely collection of jobs in front of us. Now, this is an interesting collection. What I've kind of done is sorted it by distance. So down here is the steel mill, which we know is pretty close by. Now, that one's interesting because that's 600 tons. So that's a DH4 in the dry right there, get out of the harbour. Then we could come on to the farm. Now, this is a Hazmat 2. That's a Hazmat 1, by the way, because it's argon. Hazmat 2 is ammonium nitrate, paying a lot more money, and a drop-off at the farm. Now, the advantage of that is it would be a drive-through drop-off, unlike the steel mill, because the steel mill, as you may remember, requires you to sort of go in, make the drop, and then we're kind of facing that way, which is a bit of a problem. So you're faced with having to reverse back up and head off towards the farm. So I don't think that's going to be doable, but that one almost certainly is, because that's a drive-through drop-off. Then we come to 2 City West jobs, which between them are worth 100 grand, and they both drop off in C2I and C3I, so this is looking nice. However, between them, that's 900 tons. There's quite a bit there. And then this one up here, just to throw into the mix, is the Forest South, which I left there. The Forest South is actually down here, and I thought, well, you could possibly maybe go this way, depending on where we were heading next. But in reality, I think that's probably a no, so we'll sack that. And then I did keep the oil refinery because it was a nice empty car job, thinking if we happen to be going to food factory, we could take that one. But I don't think we're going food factory, so we'll drop that one as well. And that leaves us then with the, what do we do after City West? And then we have more options. So we've got Machine Factory, which we've been to many times, which is 30k. We've also got the coal power plant, which is here, just south of that, and that's a 44k job. The only problem with the coal power plant, of course, is it can be a little bit awkward to drop, and we're already looking at a big train. And then finally, the iron ore mine west is up here for a final 63k surge. So all of these are looking pretty good. I reckon the best combo doesn't involve the coal power plant. I think it will slow us down. But I'm wondering if we can take all of these and make it work with 4 DH4s. I don't know. Let me just do some maths and I'll come back to you. Right, first thing to note is I won't be doing that steel mill job because I don't want to be involved in reversing back up a hill. So really, I'm only considering these here. Now, if we add all of these up, I believe these come to 1,825 tons. And if we have a look at a DH4, in the wet, it's rated at 500, but that's not entirely accurate. 4 DH4s would be 2,000 tons. So in theory, 4 of them could handle this in the wet, up a 2% gradient. Yeah. I'm not so sure, but I'm up for a challenge. And, you know, maybe by the time we actually assemble this train, maybe it'll stop raining. Maybe. He says, hopefully, knowing full well it won't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this train. And then we're going to see where we are. And we're going to try and haul it with 4 DH4s. Never tried this before. Don't even know if I make it out the harbour. This could be a very short episode. Well, I'm happy to report that while I'm still assembling all this, it's actually stopped raining. And if you look, the ground's still a bit wet. It is actually drying up. The track's still a bit damp. But we're getting there. It does mean that when we leave the harbour, it will be dry, which is absolutely lovely. Please don't push that. Lovely. However, I have run out of flags. I've been putting a flag on the train that I'm assembling here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to nip over to the local shop here, and we'll grab some more flags. I probably need at least 2 for my inventory, but yeah, getting there. Right, super annoyingly, they don't sell flags here, which you would think you could buy them from every shop, but apparently not. But I did spot something we didn't buy, which is Steve's garage key. So I'm going to pick that up and a bit of solder. And the reason I've picked that up is because he says finding his wallet. There we go. The reason I didn't pick that up is because... what was I saying? Steve's garage key, which is here, this one. I'm going to grab it now. I'll put it in my inventory. We'll put it... Image system can be weird. So we've got 3 there. Steve's garage key opens up the slug, the DE6 slug, which I have mentioned before. The slug is actually available where we harbour. We're here in harbour. It's available here from a little shed. It's a heck of a windy road out of there. We don't need it right now, but since we're heading towards the DE6 unlock, it makes a lot of sense to basically get the slug key now while we're here. And I'll just have to do without some flags on the couple of drops that we've got. Let me just move this forward. I'm just pulling all the stuff together right now. We've got this lot here, which is going to the machine factory. And then the last thing I need to assemble on the front is the excavators going to the Iron Mine West. So I'm getting there. I'm nearly there. It's taken a while to assemble. I just want to calculate the length of it as well when I've assembled it all. But yeah, no flags for these last 2, unfortunately. Right, I'm just putting the 3 Locos on the front now. This is our assembled train down here. That was the one that I used to put everything together. So what I did was I basically pulled each section, each job. Slow down, slow down, slow down. I pulled each job and then shunted it onto the front of the first drop that we're going to do at the farm, and then just rinsed, repeated. Just get that to gently... Oh, that's not too bad. I think that's not far enough, though. Oh, no. Have all of that. Lovely. Right, we'll connect them in. So, really, what I need to do now... take a left the handbrake on this car. There we go. Yeah, so all I need to do now, I've got that front diesel DH4 running. I've got to start up these 3. Let me just show you what the job looks like. Now, I've done some calculations, and the total mass of our cargo is 1,825 tons, which I told you about. The total mass of our 4 locomotives is 296 tons. That gives us a combined train weight of 2,121 tons, which is quite a lot. We are in the dry. The length of the cargo we have is 737 meters, and our length of our 4 locomotives is 52, which means we have a combined length of 789 meters, which is not ridiculously long, but I would say that this is quite a dense train in that it's 789 meters long, but it weighs 2,121 tons, so it's quite a weight to it, really. So what I need to do is set this thing here. So if I take that all the way up to 800, and 789 is going to be, that's going to be 790. So for argument's sake, we'll just leave it on 800. So let me fire up these 4 engines, and we can basically, we should be good to go forward from here, I think. We don't need to take a run up. We've got a bit of a run up. We can only do 40 kilometers anyway, maximum around that bend. We'll push for about 45. Genuinely, at this stage, I don't know if this is even going to make it. I think it's going to be close, but I'm hopeful that it will just about do it. So there you go. We've got all 4 running. Let's go and start the jobs, and then we can go. Right then, there we go. Excavators, acetylene, tooling, gasoline, ammonium nitrate. And that's our lot. 5 jobs. Clock is now ticking. Let's get that thing moving. I've not set any of the switches on the route yet, so we need to do that now. Let's quickly jump over here. There we go. Right, let's get the front day running lights going. Now our journey is going to take us from the harbour up through the farm here. We're going to make a drop at the farm. City West, we're making 2 drops. Machine Factory, make a drop. Final destination, Iron Mine West. So on the switching diagram, we're going to come out the harbour and we're going to turn right. We're going to head this way. We're going to hang a left. Then we're going to keep right, down towards the steel mill, turn left at the steel mill, that horrible turn, through the farm, Orwell Central. We're going to keep right at this triangle here, keep right at City West. We're going to then have to reverse in and make our 2 drops. We'll then have to go this way, keep left up to the Machine Factory, and then after that up to the Iron Mine West. Whilst we just keep an eye on what's going on outside, let's just double check our routing here. So with the farm, our first drop at the farm is going to be into B2I. So we're going to keep right into the farm, and then we're going to go left, coming in from the east, which is this side. So left, right into 2I. We're then going to go through the Orwell Central, so we'll just double check. We're going to keep left through there, and then right, left will take us straight through. That's good. And then we're up to City West. City West, we're going to keep right through here, keep right through there, and then we're going to reverse back down here, keep right to go straight on, keep right to go into C, and our first drop at C will be 3I, so that will be left, and then right, and then left. We'll then pull forward, and then drop at C4I, is that right? No, that's machine fact. Oh no, we're going to drop C2I first, I beg your pardon. We're going to go C2I, and then pull forward to C3I. Right, let me just focus on what's going on out here, because I need a lot more momentum than this. Unfortunately, I wasn't really paying enough attention and I didn't get enough speed. So we're not going as quickly as I wanted to be because I was too busy baffing around with switches. Definitely a lesson though, isn't there? Okay, hopefully we've got enough momentum. And there is a lot of momentum in this here. 2,000 tons of awesomeness. Let's open the window. Have a listen to those diesel engines. Oh yeah. It's all working very hard, look. It's backing it off already. And that's only up the flat. Okay, so I'm going to have to back off on the throttle. I should have been doing 40 before I hit that bend. That's completely my mistake. If we don't make it up here, it's my fault, and we're going to have to take another run up at it and get enough momentum before we hit the slope. But we'll see what happens. In theory, these things can handle 2,400 tons in the dry now, but that's a 2% gradient, and we know full well that this is not a straight 2% gradient, but so far so good. We're holding good momentum. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. So yeah, we're going to pull forward at the City West. Let's see, we'll basically go into 2i, then pull forward, do 3i. Then we're going to head up to the coal power plant, which is this one here. Just making sure at the coal power plant that we keep right towards the machine factory. And then the machine factory will drop on its C4i. So we're going to go right, then left into C. And then C, we're going to be right, right, right again, straight into 4i, make our drop. Then we head north into the Iron Mine West. And Iron Mine West, we come in from the, let's think about it, from the west side. So we're going to go into B2I. So at that point, we're going to go right, right, right again, left into 2I. Okay, that was quite a complex setup, but I think that's all set. I'm quite happy with our current momentum. I'm just going to give it a little bit more power now. We've got a bit more temperature to use there. We're going through the worst part of the journey right here. But if you can make it to this triangle, as I said before, with at least 20 Ks, then you're usually going to be okay. I've backed off the throttle. I'm going to do it again. Engine's really struggling. I think it's struggling for traction, to be honest. It's really working hard. 22, but I'm hopeful that's our minimum. Yeah, we're going to be pushing these locomotives all the way up this slope, really. Down to 21. Maxed out on our pace right now. We're still on a, it was a 2% gradient then. Let's go and have a look at the back of the, yes, the back of the train's here. We went over the top of that. You can still, we're still coming up that slope. So once it reaches here, it starts to flatten out a little bit. But yeah, I think we've done it. But to be honest with you, if that rain had us to win around, we wouldn't have got up there. No way. I really just don't think it. Well, maybe with all the sand down, maybe we'd have had to take a 45k run up around that bend and keep deploying sand all the way up that slope. It would have been a problem of friction more than anything. When we get the DE6, which obviously has more power, we'll get hold of the slug as well. The slug will really help to get that power down onto the tracks. That's its main function. So anyway, it looks like we're going to make it out of here. So we've just rounded that turn there. We're about to make this climbing right turn up the valley. You've seen this a few times. And then it's basically a cruise through here and then a downward drop, sharp left towards the farm. Right, so we're just making that right turn down towards the steel mill. Just bringing the speed down a bit. Using the dynamic brake. That is the farm. We've seen that before. Oil well is over there. And this is the speedy run that we have to keep our speed under control. Left turn down towards the farm. So far so good. A huge amount of momentum here. I climbed out of that hill, backed off on the throttle, and this thing just rolled. So we've burned through just over a quarter of a tank. That's pretty much the most fuel we'll use. It's a bit like a plane in that you burn all your fuel on the climb, really. But unlike a plane, you can really just back off the throttle when you're on the flat. With this much momentum, it will just keep rolling over that track-based friction for quite a long time. So yeah, you can definitely make fuel savings if you're careful with your speed. Speaking of which, we are going to have to get the dynamic brake on here and make this turn. Anyway, next stop is the farm. Lots of braking needed here. There we go. Let's get it all under control. And don't forget, the braking takes time to apply as well. You know, you're talking 700 meters of brake pipe, and it takes time for that to take effect. What we're trying to do is just keep as much of our momentum as we can, which really means keep it under 50, but don't use as much, you know, use as little brake as you can to do it, really. So when we do release all the brakes and the dynamic brakes, then we've got all the momentum pushing us down this hill, really. At the moment, we're just picking up the speed, but now it's started to back off a little bit. So I will probably release a notch of brake. Let's see, where are we? That's about halfway. Okay, let's release a notch of the brake pipe. There's the back of the train there. That's got to be doing 50. So now I'm going to release all the brake. And then we should just be able to roll straight into the farm, which is fantastic. Means the engines are just idling nicely. So our first drop is this one here. It is the rear 11 orange looking cars. They're separated by, I've got a flag down there, but really these are circular. These are kind of boxy, so that's what we're looking for, really. Let's just back it off the speed here, because we are coming in a little bit hot. The real problem is going to be the remote control distance. That's going to be the real issue that we've got. I'm just going to jump out because this is too high, so we've got to keep our eye on that wireless signal down there. Because this is a super long train, we are going to start running out of signal. Let's just back the brakes off now. So yeah, it's those orange cars there we're going to be braking at. So what we want is the back of that thing to be here. The problem we have is that we won't have enough signal to get to that back of that train. So what I need to do is find the front of the train for the next one, which is that there, and then make that get to the front of this track, if that makes sense. You can see we're about to lose signal, so I'm just going to jump on here so we keep control of the train. And the board down there is going to be our guide. Yeah, it's not easy when it's... And this is why you need the caboose, really, to boost that signal when you start doing these super long trains. I mean, 700 is not super long, but when we start doing bigger stuff, it will become more of a problem, and we'll need the caboose to boost the wireless distance. Okay, so there's the front of the next one. So we're looking to try and end it about here. Let's back it off now. We've got a bit of signal strength, but not a lot. Yep, we're starting to lose it. Now, if we lose control, then we're going to have to sprint rapidly. But I think we're just about okay. That's what we're looking for. Here. So I'm going to get some brake on now, because if I lose signal, I want to make sure that this thing continues to brake. It's only 12 cars, so it should... Well, 11 cars, so it should fit rather relatively easy inside there. Just look how long it's taking. There we go. So if I just come back here a bit. It takes a while to stop, so I'm just going to get the full brakes on now. I think that should do us. Let me just quickly sprint down here if I can. Right, maybe we could see if we jump on here. Can we jump on here? Yep, that's fine. Okay, we're clear. So what we need to do is put the handbrake on that car. I'm going to grab that flag marker. Bear in mind, we are still up against the clock. Hopefully we've got enough time. We can now hand this job in, if I can work my way through that. I'm not even going to bother picking up another job. I'm just going to hand this in. I'd rather get these delivered on time. That should validate, which it does. That's 76,000 just for that drop, which is happy days. And then we're going to sprint down here. Now, our job that we didn't have a flag for, our next drop of these cars here, if I just quickly run over there, you see I put a flag on that one. And then this one here, this CFA 684. So we're looking for 8087. And we can now reuse that flag. There should be 2 red cars. And that looks like 2 red cars right there, doesn't it? So this should be 8087. There it is. So yeah, we don't strictly speaking need a flag, but I'm going to use one anyway. There we go. So that will separate that. And we'll start the brakes release. The excavator drop is the last of our drops. And we're going to get a bit of power in now. Just to get things moving, stop it rolling back in case there's an incline. And get back in the cab. Drop number 1 is done. See how much power we can get on without any wheel slip. Lovely. Right, everything else is set. So reminder that we're now going to City West. And City West is something that we're going to come in. We're going to get the back clear of that. And then we're going to reverse in for 2 drops into C. And then we'll start pulling the train forward, hand everything at the station. And then we've only got 2 more jobs after that. But it's all looking pretty nice right now. And then we'll calculate our profits at the end and see what we made. Here we are. We are approaching City West. As a reminder, I do need to go to the shop here, don't I? I think I do. Need to get some flags from here, maybe. Not sure if there's anything else I was going to get. Maybe get some green lights. I'm not sure. We're going to be near it anyway. Might as well pop in and get some flags, if nothing else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing haul up there, and then we'll reverse it back on this switch here. I'll then turn off, once we've made it up this slope here, I'll turn off those rear 2 locomotives. We don't need to run all 4 after this, because this is downhill into the City West flat, and then after that we're dropping 2 lots off. 2 locomotives should be able to haul the rest of it, I think. Our front 2 weigh about 1,000 tons, which should be enough for 2 locos, I think, up this hill. Yeah, that should be enough, although just about 2 locos can do it. Just don't forget we got the weight of 4 locos as well. So we could leave 3 on. We can definitely turn the back one off. Yeah. I tell you what we'll do. We'll turn the back one off and run 3 up this slope, and then we'll turn the 3rd engine off once we get to the machine factory, and we should be good after that. I don't want to lose any speed because I want to get those bonuses if possible. Now, we've still got a long train here, so we should just be on the limit. But I think we'll be fine. You see that signal strength's looking pretty bad. The good news is, it's going up a slope there, so if we did lose signal, it would eventually come to a halt. And then start rolling back down again. But we don't want that to happen. You can see it's getting harder to apply the brakes. It's flickering. Yep, we're down to 1 bar. 1 bar of signal. There you go, right. Let's try and get some power applied. Lovely. Right, now we already set the points up into City West, so this is the one in front of us. Right, into C, going into 2I, left, right again, 2I drop, pull forward, 3I drop. And then turn off Loco 4, and the job's in, we're good. In fact, while this is rolling back, why don't we quickly run into the shop? This is a little bit risky. But, you know, gotta live dangerously. Jump into here. We'll have an orange flag and a yellow flag and a blue flag. 3 flags. Is there anything else I need from here? Oh, we can have a blue and a green. Why not? And a white. No, we won't get a white. Okay, we will need to buy some paint probably, but not from here. Let's put that down. Okay, that's all we need to do. Actually, we'll take 2 of them. Okay, right. Now, I may have pushed the boat out a bit too far here. Oh no, we're all good. This is our break point. There's our flag. So if we can just sit here, we want this at the front of the board. Decouple, run forward, etc. So now we've got a variety of flags. Look at all the colours. Fantastic. That is 2I. Let's start getting the braking. Looks good to me. I'm going to grab my flag back. Stick the brake on. Oops, that was a mistake. And then pull forward. Where's the station? Station's over there. Ordinarily, I'd probably sprint over there, but given we're unrealistic, we can't sprint very quickly. We'll just have to hope this is good enough. So our drop now is that one, then this one. This is 11 cars as well. And we're looking for the split to those 4, I think it's ammonium nitrate cars. Okay, that should do it. This one's going into 3I, which is a left, sorry, a right, then a left. Let's see if we can spot this brake. So it should be, that's the red car, that's the green car, then the green car. So we're looking for a double red followed by that, and that will be our brake. I think we put the flag on there, so we should be good. That's quick enough. Okay, that looks like double red. Yep, there's the brake there. And the flag, yep. Lovely. Let's get on board. Let's grab our flag. I think we're going to make a nice profit today, actually. I think it's going to really help us, because doing up a DE6 is quite an expensive thing to do. We still haven't got the license yet. That's 200 grand just for the license. It's about 200 grand in parts, plus all your paint, all your bits and pieces that you need to put in there. It's not cheap. However, we don't need to worry too much about fitting parts to it at this stage, because we can still operate the DH4 connected to it. So it's not, it's not too bad. Let's put that in forward. So it breaks down to minimum. Right, let's run over to the station, see if we can get a bonus on those. Station should be over here somewhere. There we go. Right, let's hand that one in. That's validated for 67 grand or so. And then we've got that one. That's also validated for 95 grand. Guys, what are we saying? We are making bank. Oh, I've actually gone into the turntable. Right, let's release the brakes. Get this forward. Shut that one off. There's 3 Locos live. Get some momentum going. So there's still a fair bit of weight here. Like I say, still at least 1,000 tons in. You can feel it still. 3 locomotives should get us up there quickly. We're already up to 814,000. I don't know what our fees look like, but they shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we've got plenty of power to weight going on here. Fuel is still pretty stable. Like I say, we burned all of that quarter just coming out the harbour. There is going to be some burn up this hill though, but we should easily finish this job with at least a half tank, I would have thought. Oh, arriving at the machine factory, which is our second to last drop. We've just got 4 cars to drop here. I really should turn off Loco 3 right now. We don't need to run so many. Oh, I don't want to fall off. That's the problem with teleporting. Okay, let me just get some brakes on. We are coming in a little bit hot. And we're switching through here at 40 k's really. There we go. Should be fine. Okay, so confirm 4i is a drop. And we will get off. Actually, we might as well drop the 4 cars near the front here, because the station's just over there, isn't it? So it makes sense to pull them all the way to the front. Jump out about here. There's our excavators, which is paying some nice money. I'm hopeful we can still get the bonus on those. I can't remember how long the job duration was on them though. It'll still be good money. I mean, by default, it's what? 63k? If we get a bonus, it'd be nearly 100. So we've still got a vested interest in trying to get that bonus because it is big money. Okay, we didn't put a flag on this one because we didn't have any at the time. Let's get this one on the brakes. Get it handed in. That's another 45 Gs right there. A quick look at that job. 47 minutes elapsed, 126 minutes bonus time, so we had plenty of time to make that drop. How much does this one weigh? 288 tons, okay. We can turn off Loco 2 as well. It should be able to handle the weight of the other Locos plus that. A lot of it's downhill. It's mostly downhill. And then you've got the climb, the turning climb up into Iron Mine West, but I think we'll be fine. He says. Worst case scenario is we stop, put the second engine on and do a hill start, but genuinely I think we'll be fine. So this duration of this one was 143 minutes. We know we've taken about an hour or so, which means we should be able to hit that bonus. Actually, was it? How many minutes was that other one? I think we can hit the bonus. B2I is where we're going. Iron Mine West. I believe we set up for B2I already. Right, left. Lovely. We're on the home straight. So once we've got this dropped off, I think we want to then look at trying to service the vehicles, and because we need to clear all our fees to get the D6 license, so we need to service all the vehicles. We can't service them at the Iron Mine West. There is no service yard. You need this orange icon here, the diesel service, which is here at the machine factory. So we will have to come back here just to get a service. I don't mind that. I want to go to the machine factory shop anyway. Probably need to buy some paint and stuff for the D6. Need to see how much we've got in our shed. I think we've got sand. I think we've got DVRT paint. We also need some showroom paint. I don't think I'll fit any kit to it initially because I think I'm still going to operate out the DH4. That will be our main driver, but the D6 will provide a lot more power for us. But the real thing is I want to get back down to City West to get the D6 that's waiting here. The museum D6 is down here. So my basic plan, which will probably happen in the next episode, will be to come back this way, get our fees cleared off, get our license for the D6, and then take whatever jobs we can that will take us back in this direction, stopping on the way to pick that up. And we may be able to take some jobs out of here. It's worth also stopping at Orwell Central or Farm, because we can potentially pick up some work out of there to take us back down to the harbour maybe. We're making good money now. We're up to 859. We've almost hit 1 million. We're not going to hit 1 million, but we're not far off. There's a bit of a pain coming in here. We've done this one before. This is you've got to very quickly switch from braking to power. Because what happens is it slows you down to 50, slows you down to 40, and then instantly puts you on an incline with a 40 limit. So you've got to back off the brakes quickly and get the power on. It's a very sneaky entrance. to climb and right turn. Should be okay. We're about to hit the red limit on the temperature. I'll just back off the throttle slightly. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, not a lot of distance between the machine factory and the iron mine. It's very close to each other. Just double check the switches. 2i looks good. Perfect. And we can jump out just here. A couple of notches of brakes on to get it under control. Still quite a lot of weight there. But with 4 locomotives braking as well, I can stop it fairly rapidly. Let's see, let's get that one done. Okay, and then I shall very quickly turn the engine off on that one. And we've arrived just as the sun is starting to set. That was a solid day's work. It took time to assemble the whole job. It was quite a big set of jobs. And to assemble it from around the yard, which took up all the morning, but that was fine because it meant the rain stopped. 95 Gs, look at that. 53 minutes, we had 143 to do it. Absolutely lovely. So that's now given us 955. Let me quickly get my calculator out here. So 955,101. Take away our starting money, which is 577,461, I think it was. Now, bear in mind I bought a couple of flags, but that is $377,000 of profit. We've not paid for the fees, but what's that, 30k? We can halve it to 15, and we've got to do our own loco as well. I reckon we've well cleared 350k in that one day, which is absolutely fantastic. Not bad for a day's work, eh? Imagine being paid 350,000 for one day's work. We can only dream. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing. That is it for this one. I shall see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Happy training.